If you like the video, let us know down below.
And subscribe to go deeper down the rabbit hole.
Transsexuals. Okay? You niggas need to stop. Okay? Alright?
So, stop. Stop what?
Okay. Now, and it is really not a laughing matter, right? We're not making jokes of whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everyone is going through something, right? But when you are a transsexual and you vilify me as a black man, that's where you kind of need to stop, okay? For example, not even for example, to elaborate, okay? Black people as a whole, the reason we even identify with a lot of different movements that go on, we were a part of the women's movement, of course we're a part of the labor movement, of course we're a part of the LGBT community.
I want some water.
As a black people, the reason we identify or we want to jump into whatever social issue that's out there is because we identify with every social issue that's out there. Because for the longest time, let's not even talk about how slavery was 400 years. For 400 years, let's not even take the 400, 300. Let's look at 1920 to 2020 and realize that in just the last 100 years of recorded history, black people have been disproportionately disenfranchised first, and then they vilify you for your skin first, and then if they care enough, then they'll get into who you like to fuck and who you don't like to fuck.
This actually goes, take away the slavery going further and further, even the genocides. It's the tolls that that will never be really accounted for, is the black people involved in it. Like, even when you go further into even like the Holocaust and going beyond that, also Nigeria, and just places where they mass execute people,
Right.
even to that level. But just that population of black people is never accounted for in a public sense as it does in other areas. So it's
Right, because black people were killed in the Holocaust as well. You know what I'm saying? People want to make it, oh, it's just a Jew thing. Nah, it wasn't just a Jew thing. They killed blacks. They also killed the disabled because they were trying to create the perfect race. That's what that was about.
And it was multiple demographics represented during that Holocaust. However, it goes about a lot of I'll say any cause that's happening, the people that get the most reception for the atonement of it are people in a elitist power, that bring some value to actually their problems being publicized or written about, or things of that nature.
Because that's my whole thing as well, in terms of why I started the video. Transsexuals, right? The transsexual movement was led, during Obama's presidency and everything of that nature, in which everything came to the forefront. But it was led by white people wanting to change their gender, or at least that's was mainly publicized. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't black people that wanted to change their gender, because we have evidence of that going on right now. And as the black community, we're trying to become more accepting to that struggle that's happening as well. But first and foremost, we're black. We need to, you know what I'm saying? We need to like first de-vilify us as just my skin color before we start going into sexuality. But that's neither here nor there to this conversation. When it comes to,
or is it? But continue.
No. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, right? When it comes to, you know, the transsexual community being led by white men that now want to be white women, and you know what I'm saying, you see all of these instances of white men becoming white women and then participating in women's sports. White men becoming white women and winning a Woman of the Year award. White men becoming white women to capitalize off of the privilege of being a minority. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, to me it's a mental disorder to be born in the majority, right? Talking about elitists. When it comes to America, we all know that the majority consists of white men, and white men have the most privilege in the country, right? You can go on mass killing sprees. You could set off bombs wherever the fuck you want to set off. You could create laws and institutions that disproportionately disenfranchise every race, and not just in the United States, in the world. It's a world ideology that white men are on the top of the majority. You get what I'm saying? So to be born naturally in that privilege and then say, nah, I want to be a part of the minorities to gain minority privilege, then to vilify black men because we don't readily identify with your perception of reality.
Now, when you say vilify black men, you mean hetero black men, all black men, or just...
I mean hetero black men, right? I identify as a heterosexual male, right? And I black man, right? And you know what I'm saying? And I mean I see it all through social media. Black men ain't shit. Black men don't know how to love and be in a loving relationship. Black men don't know how to take care. Then to go to work and, you know what I'm saying, a transsexual comes and vilifies me just off of, oh, you're black, so you know what I'm saying, clearly you have a thing against homosexuals and all of this, and I'm just looking at the person like, fam, I don't give a fuck about you.
I feel like
like, for real, like, my whole thing is like, we got enough. We have enough. In terms of, I mean, the welfare system. You already know that was systematically put in place to kick the black man out of the black home. Not to say that there aren't a bunch of white people that participate in the food stamps and welfare system, but when it comes to black people, it was the reason we benefit into a governmental system. There's a catch. That's what I'm saying.
And I follow you, because it's synonymous just with the feeling of being as you are and still feeling everybody else's like struggle and perception that has nothing to do with who you are as a person. So an instance where I may have, you have to be mindful of who you are. Like, you have to be mindful of who you are, what you say, and what you're doing at all times. Just coming along with being a black person in general. And it's just like, I can't be loud in public. I can't, speak a certain way, or act a certain way, or just have a freedom of self. I have to be in a certain box. If not, it's whatever that person might feel. It's you know what I mean? You guys are trying to destroy the property. You guys are trying to do this. You guys agenda. It's not agenda. I just happen to be myself in the place I'm being and being black.
Right.
So, and that's, again, it comes with it protects that system.
And once again, you're vilified for being black first. And then they'll get into, oh, you gay. With, you know what I'm saying, you're gay with your blackness or whatever case, to like add on to, like, you know what I'm saying, like you're being charged, you know what I'm saying. So first you're being charged for being black, now you're being charged for being gay, now you're being charged for being whatever other, a male, you know what I'm saying, whatever case may be. And you know what I'm saying, it's crazy. But when it comes to you know what I'm saying, white men wanting to become or wanting to involve themselves into a minority group, a minority struggle,
correct,
just to have like, oh, I'm better than you type of mentality. And I mean, I've seen that from a lot of people in the LGBT community, and not just the transsexuals, to be honestly speaking. It's a lot of gay men that come that you know what I'm saying, come to my place of employment talking about all this money that they are involved in, or all this, you know what I'm saying, whatever movement they are part of, or whatever case may be, as if to downplay me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, fam, first and foremost, if you're doing a noble cause, more power to you. And I support you from a distance. My support of you is not giving a fuck. That's my support. Because I could give a fuck.
Be in respect of what you're going through and what you want to be in, or you know what I mean, just giving respect to another person in their space.
Like, everybody has their own journey. I'm on my own journey. I do whatever the fuck I do. You are on your own journey. You do whatever the fuck you do. If I don't care about what you're doing, then the biggest thing that I can do is just stay out of your way. But for you know what I'm saying, these people with this elitist mindset about them, or you know what I'm saying, oh shit, you're just black, I'm black and gay, so whatever.
We don't have the same struggle, we don't have the same understanding, and we're not in the same.
And it's like, fam, regardless of where you go, you are judged for being black first, and then they realize that you're effeminate.